Well, hello there, YouTube. This is when the world goes crazy out here. Look, it's almost turning the grass white out here. What a crazy morning so far. Blue skies, and then this kind of craziness. Then blue skies, and this kind of craziness. A couple hours ago, parts of I-5 up north, where I go riding a lot, they said it just suddenly happened, turned to black ice and cars were crashing everywhere. I thought, well, but the sun didn't last long. It lasted long enough I was thinking about going for a ride, but yeah, there's no need in, roads are still damp, so there's no need in going there and hurting myself. But look at that, crazy. All that with the sun right there. Gotta love that. So I come running out here to get a good look at all the sleet coming down, and all of a sudden it turned to rain. Dang! Underestimate how cold it is out here too. Holy moly! I think it's only made it to 39. Woo! Well, that was eventful. So this is the kind of thing that drives you crazy on these kind of days, is look at that out there. I mean, it's a very light sprinkle, but I think it's just blowing from the edge of the cloud type of thing. But look at that towards Chehalis. It's just all beautiful out there. That's probably the kind of skies we're going to see for the rest of the week. Didn't do us any good for today. This is what just passed over, since it's even darker back over that way. There's even a landslide. Ryan and Michaela were coming back from the Portland area and going through Woodland. There's another landslide that poured out over into I-5, but it hasn't shut the freeway down yet. It was down to like 1 or 2 lanes though. So I was looking at the shop manual today and looking at bodywork and how you take it off. Dude, the manual is vague to say the least. I'm doing the old BMW trick of calling it one thing in one area and something else in another area. But when it's talking about changing the oil and filter, it looks like, well, I showed you taking this access cover off, that just pops out. And looking at, if you take this lower piece out of here, you got to pull the rear floorboard off. And then at the bottom, this thing has what's similar to an F3 type rail going across the bottom. And the floorboards are bolted on with 3 large bolts inside there. But anyway, I'm just curious, you know, before, I mean, it'll be a bit for somebody gets 3,000 miles for the first service on one of these, but I don't know. Let's explore a little bit and see, because the manual is not telling you in what sequence. And like there's times where it wants you taking this off, and I think it's actually telling you to take the upper, what they're calling the upper lateral cover, and then the service access cover, and it looks like they're calling that an audible cover. So I'm thinking this comes off and it looks like it's holding that wing, and I don't know, let's explore here a little bit. Let's check her out. I want to know. Don't you want to know? Let's check it. Okay, so this is one big piece. The weird thing is there's 2 automotive body clips that are up underneath here. So, oh, one there and one there. So you just take the plastic and push in, and the brake pedal is kind of in the way in this lower wing. So it's same T25 screws that are holding it down. So that would have probably made it easier if I'd have removed that. But I was able to push the brake pedal down and sneak the cover past. But I'm not sure what that gained me, other than possibly cleaning any sometimes if you get a little crazy taking the oil filter out, it'll drip down back off in here, and that make it easy to get in there and clean that off. But Man, this thing looks this looks substantial. And I wonder if this piece pops out of here. Looks like well, I guess that's above that metal bracket that's holding the bottom of the saddlebag. Some push pins. I don't know. I'll dig on. So it takes that metal cover, that audible cover that I've taken off before, and this is the inner panel, and this is the front, I guess you'd call it the quarter panel. I think it's called the front panel. So it's a series of those automotive push pins and a few bolts here and there. But at that point, because the chalk colored piece comes over this and there's no way of moving this around, so between push pins and bolts, taking the rear peg off, some push pins, I'm hoping I can get this out. Now, I'm pretty sure you can get all this done without like the oil change. I know you can knock that brake reservoir out of the way and probably get it done, but this is what they're telling you to do for an oil change. But as you know, we always find shortcuts. Look at the size of that body cover. Holy moly. All right, let me pop this thing off. Hope I was even pointing the camera in the right spot. All right, here we go. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If that's required to do the surface on this thing, that thing's as big as I am. That's the whole side of the Spyder. Yeah, I'll be finding shortcuts. I know that with, you know, knocking the brake caliper or the reservoir off its bracket and taking this, that wasn't that big of a deal at all to take off. It just kind of snaps in. It's got that creepy sound when you take it off. There's your transmission control. This all looks like a Spyder now. So here's a good point to show you the 3 bolts that hold the floorboard onto this lateral support, which is kind of F3-ish looking. But as you can see, I know this is the right hand side. This is a different setup. You wouldn't be able to put that the belt pulley on there, which, by the way, before all the wrong information gets out, somehow or another some new some of these things that were kind of internal have got out. The RT was supposed to, I touched on this briefly and then I realized there was a change, so I haven't talked about it again. The RTs were supposed to have a belt dampener arm, the other side, but during testing, before the bikes even went into production, there was, I don't know the details of what it was, but it was not favorable, so it was abandoned. So it was probably adding vibration instead of taking it away. It looked like it was the same damper. In fact, if you look at the fish card for the 2020 and you look at the rear drive section, you'll see it's there, but if you inquire on the part, it says not to be used. If you have one, call PAC or whatever. They do not want it installed on a 2020. Again, I don't know the details of it, but some of those online manual places are giving out information that maybe they're not supposed to have. I don't know. But at any rate, yes, there was supposed to be a belt damping pulley on the 2020 RTs. But, you know, I've ridden this about down the freeway a bunch. It's perfectly fine. The other ones I rode, although not down the freeway, perfectly fine. It was at our store, with all the Spyders we sell, really the only complaints were for the F3 models. And initially when they offered that as an accessory update, that's all it was for, is the F3s, not the RTs. And then later they came out with an RT version. Because there's some of them that did. I hit my 2014 when the belt wasn't adjusted right. It started to buzz a little bit, but nothing to worry about. The F3s like that, the F3 Limited I had here, that thing buzzed like a buzz bomb. Drove Kelly nuts back there. Now that's one to complain about. The buzzing I've seen out of RTs, when the belt is not properly maintained, that can be pretty annoying as well. But yeah, the RTs weren't the big problem anyway. And this is the smoothest belt I've ever felt on a Spyder. So I even crawled under and looked to see if it was there. Nope, not there. But anyway, there's easy, really easy access to the oil filter now. And wow, really easy access. You can even see what you're doing. There's the drain for the clutch side. Right there. So you can see a little bit here the tubular backbone, which I think the F3s had that. But the back, where it comes down the front and goes underneath, you can see it's got the rectangle like previous years. It's just the entire backbone of it is different. So anyway, it other than getting that big piece out, that was a fighter. Even had to cut my dadgum zip tie I had in there because it wanted to make a turn there. Look at that, BRP. You didn't push a push pin in. Caught you red-handed. Who was the guy that done that? Write him up. Anyway, there's a big old hole in the side of this 2020 now. Yep. I was just about to take the floorboard off because it's a tight fit getting past that. Essentially what you need to do is get it forward enough that you can pull it out and then it clears everything up front. I know you can work it with the surface access cover and the audible cover and this the painted piece way up top, which pops out real easy. Yeah, you'll have good access to this thing because the black piece is like stopping right in here. Plenty of room to do the service. There we are. There's my goofing around on the Spyder again today. Now I gotta turn around and put it all back together. See the trouble you guys cause me, all to show you. Somebody even says, well, you shouldn't have to be taking the rear brakes apart on a brand new Spyder. Misunderstood that I was just doing the show and tell, just like I'm doing today. So hope you guys find that interesting. It's interesting to me. And now there's no mystery of how it comes apart anymore. It's just like I say, it's got that old 80s, you know, working with all those. Remember the scooter craze of the 80s? If any of you guys were even alive then, it reminds me of them. You know, you hear pop. Doesn't hurt anything. It just has a scary sound when you pull them panels off. But there we are. All right. Now I got myself a big old mess. Look, I filled up my shelf. That thing bigger than the shelf. I just plopped it right there because as soon as I turn this camera off, that's going right back on. And it required 3 T34 T30s, a bunch of push pins, and one of the old screw style push pin. Floorboard. And that comes off real easy. You don't have that weird ratcheting thing back there anymore. Anyway, let me get it back together before Kelly comes out and says it's time to eat or something. All right. In a flash, we'll be back together. Whoa. It's all back together. It actually wasn't that bad. Still, this big inner piece was the hardest piece to get back in and lined up. Got my zip tie back in and everything. There should be just a regular screw going in there, but at the moment, there's a zip tie in there. But yeah, with this cover, and this cover, this is easy enough to take off. It's probably worth taking off just in case you drip some oil or something down there, because every once in a while as you're pulling the filter out, it'll drip and get right down there back by the oil cooler. So I'll probably pop this off. It's just a few screws and it comes out. No big deal. So anyway, that's what it's like to get into one of them. No big deal. I wasn't crying or anything like that. Didn't take me too long. This thing here, little janky going back on. You need to line it up so it's with that fin by the radiator. Get that lined up and then start at the back and start pushing. Boom, 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 popping everything in. That's what seemed to work. And don't forget that this piece has the two body covers underneath there. Don't forget to click those in, or you could have a rattle. Anyway, that's that. Need to get my paw prints off of it, but as you've seen from working on the brakes last night, she needs a bath. So get out there and spray her off. When it gets nice out here, I don't want to be riding this thing dirty. So she's going to get her first bath pretty soon. Anyway, a woman saying she's hungry and asking if I'm ready to eat, and I'm thinking, yep. So she's probably going to wander out here and we're going to do a quick goodbye. So we'll do that next. That's her dinging me. Well, hello there, YouTube. She's being all catting around in here, being silly.
Oh, he's awfully cute.
All scraggly, but I had her rolling around the floor working on a Spyder.
You're still adorable.
Crazy woman. But man, another rainy day. And then, of course, here comes the heater.
Of course.
We'll make it quick. But the rest of the week's supposed to be nice, except for Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend.
I know.
And then the following week it's supposed to be nice again. But the nice thing about the Northwest is it could change at any time.
In a heartbeat.
Could be for the better, could be for the worst.
Yep.
This
just
time
have
of
to
year,
wait and see.
yeah, this time of year, just gotta look. When it's summertime, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Sunny, hot, dry.
Yep.
And it just stays that way for months and months.
Spring and fall, you never know.
Yep, anything can happen. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed yet another Spyder tech thing today. I was sitting there looking at man, I said, I'm going out there, and I bet you they'd like to watch that. So that's how I dealt with a rainy day today.
Very good. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Monday or Tuesday.
Heck yeah. See you guys bright and early in the morning.
See you in the morning.
Supposedly in the sunshine, so
Yes.
we'll see how that holds
Fingers
up.
crossed.
All right, thanks for watching now.
Yes.
Bye-bye.